got a I got another commentary for you guys, but this one's about, well, usually they're all about me or like something I like, but this one is about a kind of like a disease or an infection I got. I got MRSA, and if you guys don't know what MRSA is, and you know what staph is, it's basically the same thing, but a little more like extreme. And if you don't know what MRSA or staph is, go on Google and look up some images. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. So I got. You should be look it up before I tell the story because it's gonna make more sense. Well, I got this by wrestling, and you get the disease by, I guess skin on skin contact. I don't know, but I got the disease or infection MRSA from wrestling. I wrestled every day, 2 hours a day, sometimes twice a day, and it all started out with a simple mat burn on my knee, my right knee, just from rubbing it against the rubber mats. I guess I don't know what they're made out of, but I started off with a mat burn, and I kept I kept being on my knees, and no pun intended, but I started I guess I got disinfected just from use on it, and I noticed it like the first like it happened quick, like maybe a day. But I really didn't think too much about it because I really didn't know much about staph and MRSA and all that shit. So I just ignored it, bandaged it up. I kept on wrestling. About 2 weeks later, I just couldn't deal with the pain. It was the worst feeling that I have ever experienced in my life. So I eventually told my mom, and my mom's she's a doctor. Well, yeah, I guess she's a doctor, and she said you definitely have staph. And I was like, oh shit. So we went to the hospital, and they they take some samples, and you don't get the samples back in a few days for the lab, but they took samples, drew my blood, cleaned it out a little bit, and put me on some pills and just sent me home. And that day, I woke up, and it was like it covered probably half my leg. It was ridiculous. It was pretty sick though. And what MRSA is resistant to drugs that treats staph. So it's like staph on fucking steroids. And so I went back to the hospital, and my leg was fucking on fire. And I had a temperature. I think it was like 101, but I had a temperature. And I went back, and they immediately knew. They had to take more samples, but they knew I had MRSA. So I got admitted, but it's weird. I got admitted into the like the kids section of the hospital, and I was 16. I don't I don't know if that's considered an adult or a kid, but it was fun. It was like little like cartoons everywhere. But since I had MRSA and it's highly, I guess, contagious, and it actually is deadly. People, if you look on the news, people have died from MRSA, and I'll get into that later. But I was under quarantine because I didn't want to affect anyone, so it was sick. I was in my own room, and the nurses and my family they had to visit me, but they had to put on little gowns and the little gas mask thing, gloves. They had to suit up, and I felt cool. And I brought my Xbox to the hospital too, so I played a little bit Xbox. I didn't hook it up to live. If I ever get MRSA again, I'm gonna get my Xbox and hook it up to live. That'd be fun. I'll make a commentary in the hospital. That'd be sick. But yeah, I was admitted to the hospital, and they had to clean. The worst part, they had to clean it out every single day. So every day around, I believe it was like 5 o'clock, right before my dinner time, the doctor would come in. He would ask like, "How you doing? How's your leg feel?" And he would do the same thing every time. 3 needles in my leg to numb it. Then he usually got a scalpel, sliced it open, cleaned it out, and just did that every single day. You didn't really feel it because of the needles, but when you look at it, it's just fucking disgusting. Well, MRSA is it's actually it's a very, I guess, very deadly disease. People have died from it. It spreads to their heart, and you just die. Um, I didn't die. Obviously, I'm making this video, but I almost did lose my leg. It I Since I ignored it for like a really long period of time, if I waited just a few more days, the chances of my leg getting amputated would have been extremely high. One of the nurses, like I'm pretty sure, someone told me, but I think it was the doctor. She like asked if like she said she wanted to fucking amputate my leg. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? But they didn't. But it started I guess eating away. It started eating away at my muscle tissue in my knee, and it actually still hurts. When I get tired, it hurts. It's manageable though, but I have a sick scar. Well, the hospital was actually pretty fun. The nurses were nice to me. They weren't really hot. I wish they were hot, but they were really nice. The food was good too. Yeah, it was really good. Well, like I said, they had to clean it out every single day. And the best part, the best part, they gave me strong shit for the pain, and then strong shit for the infection through my IV, and oh, it felt so good. You can feel it like going into your arm, and it just gave me it gave me the greatest fucking feeling. I know I sound like kind of like a drug addict, but it just felt nice. Um, yeah, the hardest thing you could possibly do in a hospital is like jerk off. You just can't do it. I will admit I tried, but you just can't. It's like impossible because I was attached to like a heart rate monitor. So like if let's say I got like excited or something, it would start beeping really fast. So it was impossible to do it without the nurses coming in and checking on you. And yeah, that's pretty much my story. I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and I got home. Some doctors still had to clean it again. It was pretty sick. I have a scar from it, and the scar's probably gonna be there forever. It's purple. It's pretty sick looking. It's like a big ball. It's like a big circle. And yeah, it's pretty much my story. Uh, what else can I throw in here? Yeah, there's another week. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I guess that's it. It was. I would. I wouldn't call it a fun time. It wasn't really a fun time, but I had some good moments. Playing Xbox. I played Zombies a lot. Grand Theft Autos, random shit like that. It was pretty entertaining. So yeah, duh, don't get MRSA. It sucks balls. And I mean, if you want to get it, go right ahead. But I wouldn't recommend it. And that's basically my story. I started. Oh yeah, I forgot to add this in. My coach at the time, I guess he was a UFC fighter, and he was a lunatic, and I was actually like afraid to tell him that I was in the hospital because he didn't want you to miss practice. He would fucking throw a little hissy fit, all that shit. And I was like, Dad, you have to fucking call him. I'm not fucking talking to him. I was legit like scared that he was gonna freak out because I was in the hospital, but he didn't. He was really cool about it. Yeah. Uh, what else? Oh, dude, the all the shit they gave me for the pain and shit. I was shitting out fucking liquid for a couple weeks. Like nothing but liquid came out of my asshole. It was fucking disgusting. It just fucking leaked. It didn't even leak out. It poured out. It just fucking poured out. It was fucking disgusting. But yeah, all in all, yeah, whatever. I have the quarantine sign that I stole off the door. They have to they like to put a quarantine thing on the door so no one will go in there and get infected. And I took it. I don't know if I think I was allowed to take it. I don't know, but I took it, and it's on my door actually right now. And I guess my family tease me all the time. They're like, "Oh, you're such a scumbag," but whatever. I don't regret anything. I wouldn't go back in time and change anything. Experiences are good. So that basically concludes this commentary. I did this commentary. I didn't know what to talk about, honestly, and I asked one of my friends, and he said, talk about the time he got MRSA. So I was like, alright, why the hell not? So here's the story, and that's it. So you guys can enjoy the rest of this gameplay. I don't even know what gameplay this is. It probably sucks. So
Friendly airstrike inbound.
We're winning this fight. Flash out.
Securing Alpha. Securing A.
Reloading. Target down. Target neutralized.
Losing B.